All right, guys, so we are going to be using Romero Britto, the artist that we learned about, and a landscape, and we're going to combine them together to make a bright, happy, colorful, patterned landscape. So to start our landscape, we want to start with a wavy horizon line. So if we can think back to when we did our houses, we drew a horizon line, and that was where the land and the sky was separate. So do make sure, guys, real quick, that you have a piece of paper, you have a pencil to draw with, and then you may want something to either trace with later or help you color in, because we do want these to be so colorful. So I'm going to come in here and I am going to start with a wavy line for my horizon, so I know this is all land and this is all sky. Then I'm going to draw a second wavy line down here, and that is going to be my hills right there that are part of my landscape. So that's going to be the second part there. Then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start adding my details. So I could add trees or bushes, flowers. I'm going to add any ones I want right on that horizon line coming back. So I'm going to start with some trees. I'm going to make the trunk of my tree, and then I'm going to kind of draw all the leaves that would go around it. I'm going to add another tree over this way, a little smaller on this one. So I'm going to have, and then I think I'm actually just in the distance, I'm going to add a little house back here. That's back in the distance. So I want you guys to draw at least 3 things on your landscape, back on your horizon line. Make sure you have at least 3 things back here. So I did 2 trees in a house. You could do 3 trees. You could, think about what you want. Then we're going to come up here to the front of our picture, which is called our foreground, and I'm going to add the up close details. So these things would be the closest to us. So they're going to actually appear a little bigger. And for that, I'm going to come through and I am going to go through and add some flowers up front at the front of my landscape. So I'm going to draw the center of my flower and then some big petals coming off. And if I go kind of off the edge of my paper up here at the front, that's okay. That helps people know it's really big and up close. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add a tulip. This one I'm going to draw the stem and a leaf sticking off of. And you can just kind of go through and add a few other up close details. If you wanted to add some grass or bushes, maybe you're even going to draw some bugs or something crawling on the flower petals or on some leaves. I'm going to draw some, just kind of some big leaves or blades of grass sticking up from kind of the front here. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to turn that in to a little flower that's kind of in the grass there. So I'm going to add one more flower up here. And this one I'm going to have overlap my other flowers. So they got kind of close. So I'm just going to draw it like it's really close to or behind that flower. So once you have some up close details on the front of yours, next it's going to be time to add our patterns. So I want to make sure I have a pattern in my middle section here. You could add stripes or polka dots, any of those patterns like we talked about for a lot of us on our pumpkins last week. So I'm going to add some stripes on my hill. And if you need to, guys, you can always go back to the first picture and you can look at some of the awesome patterns that the artist Romero Britto used in his pictures that he does. So I'm going to add that pattern there. I'm going to add a pattern to my tree. Just do some little dots all over it. Remember, I'm repeating over and over again. I'm going to put a different pattern on this tree. This one's going to have a checkerboard or kind of a crisscross plaid pattern to it. And then I'm going to put some patterns on my house as well. We're going to go with some polka dots and some more stripes. And then I want at least one more big pattern in my sky. So you guys can think about whatever kind of pattern you would want to be in your sky, and you can create that. I'm going to make my sky polka dots. So I'm going to go through and start drawing a bunch of these circles because I'm going to color in these circles later too. I'm going to make these a different color. And I'm going to fill this on. I might even have a circle going off the side of my paper. Maybe one coming down here like it's on the hill. But so I have my pattern there. And then if you wanted to go through and add a pattern up here by your flowers, or you wanted to add some patterns in some of your flowers, you could definitely do that. Maybe I'll make this flower zigzag. So I want you to use lots of patterns to fill up the rest of your picture. And then once you are done, you are going to go through and color it in. And I will show on the last slide. So after this one, if you click that blue arrow, you'll see a completed one that is all awesome and colored in. Have fun, guys. Make sure you send me your picture on Seesaw when you're done.